Here's Bunny D.
You gotta dance with me. The new music.
Where does yesterday's future land? When it finally shakes your hand, right at the edge of a brand new screen. Blink once and you know what I need. Technology evolution, future.
I can't pronounce technology.
Future of now, the future of now.
Almost done.
Technology evolution, future of now, the future of now.
Okay.
The future of now.
There we go. We're just going to stop that wonderful music. Welcome to, I call it Tech Rev, Technology Revolution. I'm Bonnie D, the Bonnie D, except no substitutes. I have invited back three very, very interesting, smart, savvy, up-to-date people who are founders. They were here a couple months ago for part one. We're going to talk about the future of founders. These are founders of real companies, organizations. They are making things succeed. They happen to be using AI for specific uses. No, they're not authors. They're not glutting the market with AI books. They're talking about business uses for AI, and this is an important topic for all of you out there, whether you're starting a company, whether you're running a company, whether you're dreaming about your own company. So let me get started with my opening, and I'm just thrilled to have these three important people back with me. Everybody would just wave hello. Come on, just wave hi. Let's have a, there we go. You've already danced for me. I appreciate that. Okay, so welcome to Technology Revolution, the future of now. The future of Founders plus AI Part 2 will explore how. Bonnie D on her Scarlett Mic is leading the charge. Yes, I plugged the phone in. And Tim Wolter, wave hello. Mike Maiolo, wave hello. Adam Greenberg thinking hello. They're all thinking large. As new companies come and go at the speed of light, too few founders succeed and fly right. Can AI offer agile support that's timely and strong? What pitfalls should you avoid that might steer you wrong? We'll predict startup strategies for founders to stay sane. Thank you for that, Tim. How AI can support resilience in their newfound lane. Okay, now here we go, and here's my gift to each of you, and these are long. Tim, from Sacramento's neighborhoods where big ideas were born. Tim discovered quiet determination long before dawn. Every setback planted seeds that later helped him see the strongest founders build on grit, integrity, and possibility. From Oklahoma arenas where bucking bulls ruled the day, Tim learned that courage isn't found by walking away. Construction sites revealed where hidden dangers hide, inspiring smarter systems with safety built inside. Then one sudden heartbeat, a drunk driver changed his course, yet Tim chose hope and purpose as his steady guiding force. From tech COO to founder, he embraced a bold new view, leaving certainty behind to build what's lasting, strong, and true. With Chelsea, his co-founder, oh, you know her, she's one of Bonnie D's two saucy dames, Safety View and Deal View are transforming how industry plays the game. Tim's memoir, The Last Year, reveals the founder's winding road, where resilience fuels tomorrow and commitment shares the load. Tim, I hope you enjoyed that.
I did very much.
I'm very
Thank you.
glad. I'll tell Sylvie you enjoyed it. She'll appreciate that. Mike is next. From Ridgefield roots, where strong values were taught, with discipline, service, and teamwork, hard fought. With a dad who coached and a mom, a nurse by his side, Mike learned that integrity should always be his guide. An open-door home welcomed each stranger as a friend, where generosity became the foundation on which true leaders depend. At Bucknell, Plato's wisdom inspired Mike's thoughtful insight, blending timeless ideas with a passion to do right. From paper mill operations to enterprise design, Mike saw how people and technology could better align. From founding Vesta Partners, then Rising's remarkable climb, Mike created value that stood the test of business and time. His book, We Were Rising, that's with a Z, recounts his firsthand founder's honest view, and with Kate Maloney beside him, Mike's next chapters promise adventures too. Mike, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that.
Bonnie, fabulous as always. Thank you so much.
You're a dear. Thank you. And tell Kate I said hello. And now Adam, raised in a family where service was woven into each and every day. Adam chose an independent path, carving his own unique way. The middle of three siblings whose contrasts shaped his view, Adam embraced life's challenges as his self-confidence grew. From leaving at 16 to forge his own way, through music and hustle, he learned day by day, with curiosity leading where classrooms simply could not. Adam built his future through action and wisdom hard fought. He stumbled into tech when new doors would appear to SAP, Rising, and his path to leadership became clear. Now CEO at Makeshift, where purpose takes the lead, Adam gives back precious time for what people most need. From kayaking the oceans to vineyards and travel worldwide, he pairs bold adventures with purpose as his steady guide. At his startup Leaders to Give, where compassion inspires what people pursue, Adam keeps shaping tomorrows through positive impact he carries through. Adam, I hope you like that.
I love it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. So, as with our visionary panel, the future shines bright. AI is reshaping how founders bring ideas to light. From concept to plan, from launch to client stream, AI helps founders stay sane and realize their dream. So lean in, watch and listen. Sharp insights are on display. Our futurists might inspire you to become a founder one day. So how'd I do, kids? What'd you think?
Love it.
Okay, good. I'll tell Sylvie. We worked really hard. I think we were stuck on the last two lines of your intro, Tim. Sylvie and I went back and forth about 20 times, and I wasn't sure. I didn't like the rhyme she had, and then she gave me two lines that didn't rhyme at all. I'm called the rhyme police and the tweak police. And she gets out her, what she calls her green pencil. She's my French editor, and then she starts talking to me all in French, and I say, Sylvie, we'll have to, kind of mix a little English in there. And I came up with the end would depend, and we worked on that. So I just wanted you to know we worked very, very hard. The rest of you, it wasn't quite as difficult, but we worked hard. So
Awesome.
Tim,
I struggle on intros and outros too, so you're good.
there you go. So before we go to the opening quotes, Tim, why don't you just give us an update? I'm going to put you on speaker view, just 2 or 3 minutes. What's new with you and Chelsea, and how the company's going, how your pitch decks are doing, whether you're getting any sleep. I hope I covered it all there. Tim, go ahead. I'm putting you on speaker view. It's all yours. Update, please.
Companies are good. DOB is growing. We're up to about 300 founders that we're helping raise money there, and looking at a couple contracts that would push almost 1,600 into the platform within the next year from those. Safety View is going good. Chelsea's busting her butt on that one, meeting with construction companies to help mitigate risks and give some of their time back by utilizing AI. So everything holistically is good. The book sold 1,000 copies now, which is nice. So
wow, congratulations. Amazon and
you.
everywhere. Is that what we should say?
It's Amazon and Barnes and Nobles. You can find it. Last year, you put the last year Tim Wolter, and it's on there. So.
And Wolter is with an O, not an A. I want everybody to know that's the difference. Okay, you got to find that. Yeah. Thank you very much. And Chelsea was out running when I texted you the other night. She did come back, right?
She did. She made it back all right.
Okay. So, there's an old joke that when Grandma started running, she runs 5 miles a day. We haven't seen her in 6 months. You all know that one. Okay, I'm glad Chelsea came home.
Between the businesses, 3 kids running around, it's and
that's why you keep putting staying sane into your remarks. Yes, I realize that. Mike is ready for a major milestone in his life. You could talk about it if you want to. Mike, I'm putting you on speaker view. Why don't you give us an update on Mosaic? Talk to us.
Thank you, Bonnie. Certainly appreciate it. So Mosaic's going very well. Our newly launched SAP practice has taken off like wildfire. I like to say sales are rising. The book launch went very well. We Were Rising is on Amazon as well, about the story of building Rising. So all that's great stuff. And as you know, next month, Kate and I are tying the knot. So I'm excited for what the next chapter of my life with Kate Maloney brings.
Good. And tell us a little bit more about Mosaic. What are you up to? I know the SAP practice, but what services do you offer? Give us a little pitch here, Mike.
Yeah. So there are 2 focus areas of Mosaic. There's the UKG practice, that enterprise software package, and then the SAP practice, which is new. And for both, we are traditional kind of boutique system integrator, where we provide a host of services around implementation, training, managed services, and all the things that go with entering the world of SAP and UKG.
Okay, thank you very much. And we have to do, of course, a shout out to your colleague, Sherry Ann Meyer, my friend Sherry, who is a wonderful promoter, and she helped to get us up to last time you were on with your colleagues. We're up to 1,100 impressions on LinkedIn, which is great to
Fantastic.
know people are hearing about it. So thank you to Sherry. I know she's watching. And Adam Greenberg. Adam, so happy to have you back, and tell us which of you two, or which one, or either one you want to talk about. I'm putting you on speaker view. Please give us an update. We'd love to hear
Well,
it.
I'll give you a brief on both. Makeshift, things are going very, very well, very, very fast. We made a purposeful decision last year to move into EBITDA positive, cash positive business model this year, and it's going very, very well. What I'm most proud about is that we've done that without sacrificing people and without sacrificing our growth objectives. So we continue to grow, but we're running the business in a responsible way, and it feels good. It's great to see that, and very proud of the people at Makeshift that are making that happen. On the Leaders to Give front, we built a children's home that opened a few years ago. We struggled a little bit to operationalize, and now we're serving a more diverse community in need. And I'm very, very proud as well of our donor community and the entire board who works as volunteers to make that happen. So all good.
Wonderful. I'm glad all is good. I had a guest on my creativity show who has a book called Service is a Superpower,
Mm.
talking about the value of volunteering and giving or giving back. Very, very important. So thank you all. Wonderful. Okay, show's over. We upped it. No, let's go to our opening. I always pull that on my guests. I'm still the green room warm-up comedian, still trying to be funny sitting down. Don't do stand-up anymore. Let's go to the opening quotes. Mike, do you know that I had my own stand-up troupe called Bonnie G and Du Bois?
I had heard, which I'm not shocked by that news.
No.
We
Well,
did libraries and Borders bookstores, and funny thing is, in Borders bookstores, they paid me and with some cash, and they gave us gift certificates. And I gave all the people in my troupe gift certificates, and they went around the store and they bought records. We used to call them records, CDs, whatever you want to call it, magazines, books, and they were thrilled because it was like a free shopping trip. So we had a lot of fun doing that. We only got kicked out once for a word. I'll tell you all off screen. It wasn't a bad word. They just thought it was. Okay, let's go to the quotes. Tim has sent us a quote from Morpheus, played by Lawrence Fishburne, speaking to Neo, played by Keanu Reeves. Always wonder if I got his right name pronounced right. The Matrix 1999 sci-fi action film written by the Wachowskis. The film has a strong following. I don't know if you know this, as a renowned Gen X, Gen Y classic. Did you know that, Tim? It popularized and evolved the use of the bullet time visual effect, where viewers were exploring a moment progressing in slow motion while the
mm.
camera is orbiting around the scene at normal speed. Okay, very, very interesting. All right, so let me read the quote here that Tim has picked. It's there is a difference between knowing the path and walking the path. Well, that's profound, Mr. Wolter. Why don't you tell us what this means to you? Go ahead.
I mean, when I think of it, I look at the tech boom with AI and what people are doing with AI wrappers. So, going out and renting 15 different subscriptions, slapping open AI on it, it's kind of like people think they know the path, but there's a difference in actually walking it with creating actual structure, building true equity, building AI in-house and owning that IP instead of just renting that. So knowing the path, knowing, oh, hey, AI is here versus actually understanding and walking that path is two separate things. And you're seeing it a lot in business world right now. So.
Can you comment briefly about that word I kept putting into the intro about staying sane? Is AI still helping you do that?
Yes, actually, we have our own in-house proprietary AI we call Axiom that essentially helps me get sleep at night now. And it creates knowledge graphs. It connects the whole business together, all the businesses together to really, well, keep me sane. But at the same time, my wife keeps me sane. And taking a pause keeps me sane. So.
Good, good. Nice to know. And that business side of AI is something that a lot of people are probably hearing about, reading little snippets about on LinkedIn and other places, but they really don't know how to walk that path or run that path or jog that path until they
I,
actually dip into it and try it. And I'll tell you some stories after the show if you got a couple minutes. I can't divulge
yeah,
some
it's,
information here, but very, very interesting. Thank you for that. Let's go to
you're
Mike's
welcome.
quote. Mike, this is a long one. This is Sir William Wallace, played by Mel Gibson. Braveheart, 1995, epic historical war drama film directed and produced by who else? Mel Gibson. It was inspired by Blind Harry's 15th century epic poem, The Acts, Actes, and the Deeds, Deidis, of the illustre and valiant Kemp. Anyway, you know, it's all in Old Irish. At the 68th Academy Awards, it won five of its nominations, including Best Picture and Best Director for Mel Gibson. And here is the quote. I can't do this in an accent. I'll just read it. I fight and you may die. Run and you'll live at least a while. And dying in your beds many years from now, would you be willing to trade all the days from this day to that for one chance, just one chance to come back here and tell our enemies that they may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom? I hope I did okay on that, Mike.
Fantastic.
Thank you. I'm a good cold reader. Okay, I didn't warm up to it, but I read it cold. Go ahead, tell us what this means to you, Mike, for your, yes, go ahead.
Thank you, Bonnie. And of course, Braveheart is one of my favorite movies. But in terms of the scene and the quote itself, William Wallace took a stance against the heavily armed English crown, and he was outmanned, outnumbered. But it kind of paints the picture, and you'll see the segue to founders and AI in a second. William Wallace's team had a passion and a belief. Their mission was freedom. But I'll always bet on the underdog who has passion than the big, massive force that is just following their leader. So to me, as many founders that I've coached before my Mosaic start have learned, those who have a passion and a commitment to evolve with the world of AI, if you're a service provider, you've got to be thinking about every possible way to use AI, not only internally to accelerate the way you do things, but to bring better time to value to your clients. So to me, William Wallace and his team sought freedom. Founders and service companies in the AI world need to do something similar. They need to bet on themselves, pick small battles to win with passion, and then you can be successful like William Wallace in Braveheart.
I think that was a life lesson there, Mike. Pick small battles, decide what to win. The underlying thread of passion. I think I wove that into all of the introductions for the three of you. Isn't that really what powers you as founders who are succeeding, who are
100%.
figuring it out? If you don't have the passion, used to be called the fire in the belly. I don't know what the original origins of that, how far back they go, but I think it's that fire in the belly. It's that I have something I want to do. I think it's the right thing to do, and I think it's going to make a positive difference, we hope. So there you go. Thank you for that quote. And we've got another very meaningful quote here from Mr. Greenberg. This is from Galadriel, played by the beautiful Kate Blanchett. The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, 2001, first installment of the trilogy of epic fantasy films. And interestingly enough, Adam, I think you saw this in my notes. This line was never in one of J.R.R. Tolkien's original novels. It was written for the movie, interestingly enough. Let's see now. Toward the end of her stay on Middle Earth, she was joint ruler, this is Galadriel, was joint ruler of Lothlorien with her husband Celeborn, where she was known as the Lady of Lorien, the Lady of the Galadrim, the Lady of Light. I like that one. Or the Lady of the Golden Wood. I guess they said her those names and she just appeared. Modern songwriters have created songs about her, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so here is the quote. This is lovely. Even the smallest person can change the course of the future. Adam, talk to us.
Well, I think we need to give people the space to create. We need to believe in them and give them the opportunity to realize their full potential. And it doesn't matter how experienced they are, how old they are, how young they are, where they are. If you give people the space and you you rely and you give them the opportunity, I think that that they'll prove themselves. Like myself, when as your introduction talked about not having university education, taking a different path. Well, people gave me an opportunity, and then that opportunity became very important, a responsibility to make sure that I didn't let them down. And so that's what that quote means to me.
Thank you very much. And I don't think we're talking about small people at all here. I think we're talking about just people with passion and a heart. And one of my favorite concepts is, and I think this was in a Leonard Cohen song, if you see a little bit of light coming through the window, you see a little crack in the window, a little opening in the door, push the damn door open, slide that window up, even if it takes all your might, and see what's on the other side, because it might change your life and the life of others.
Indeed.
That's
Yeah.
my philosophy. Don't just wait for it to come to you. Seize it, accept it, acknowledge it, grab it, be passionate, and go for it. Now the show's over. No, okay. Now we're going to go to the predictions. I just want to hear Tim laugh. That's all. Okay. So let's go to predictions. I've got a couple of new ones. I've got a couple of previous ones. Tim, I like this one. This is a new topic we haven't covered before. I'm going to your new prediction too. I will read it. Don't look for it. You say venture capital firms will increasingly evaluate how effectively an entrepreneur leverages AI to protect profit margins and streamline operational overhead. This is a brand new topic, I think, for all of my shows on business and AI, Tim. That's why I've picked it. So why don't you launch into this, take a couple minutes, and then we'll go around the table and see what Mike and Adam have to say. I'm putting you back on speaker view. Tim, go.
All right. Yeah, as you know, I'm an entrepreneur in residence too, so I deal with a lot of founders and talk with investors. And we spoke about it on one show about what AI is doing. It's giving back the handshake, right? So with venture capital, it's getting flooded with all these AI wrappers on things. And then if you take that and say, how do we start looking at founders? They have to start looking at the entrepreneur. How you leverage that AI to protect the margins, protect the business without adding security risks and things like that. So the honeymoon phase of AI and the at all costs is starting to dwindle. And investors used to write checks because the founder said, "Hey, AI," but VCs are now looking at and auditing that operational metabolism. What is the founder, and how do they protect those margins? If AI keeps increasing cloud bills and IP is sitting on somebody else's cloud servers, it's going to eat through the margins. I just talked to one guy, he spends $57,000 a month on AI token costs. And this is, he's not a huge, he's a few hundred people. But if you think of big business, right, and margins just dwindle every time somebody chats with AI. So protecting the next generation of venture startups will be judged on whether their AI stack actually insulates their bottom lines, or are they going to burn the capital from it? So investors don't want to know if you're using AI anymore. They want to know if the AI architecture actually makes your unit economics unbeatable. So.
Thank you. That the word token came up in a pre-show conversation between me and Mike. We were looking at I was making faces at you. Question is, Tim, before we go around the table, this implies VC's awareness of and keeping up with AI, with the opportunities, the tools, the power, the capabilities, and then laying that over the top of who is this entrepreneur, who is this venture person, who is this founder, and are they using it right? That implies a level to me of knowledge, of awareness, of what it can do, what it should do, what it should not be doing. Is it doing the right thing yet? Am I right on that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking to some VCs that say they're struggling to find businesses, but there's more businesses applying to their funds than ever before. But they're having a hard time finding businesses to invest in too, because it's just a lot of the same stuff, a lot of the same wrappers. And some of what I look at, it's, you can't just be a tech business anymore, like just a SaaS business. You have to have some kind of services wrapped in it, some expertise, something that actually drives the business, because AI is starting to pull the SaaS as AI. And then you have that human connection, the actual entrepreneur and that part. So.
Thank you. Mike, weigh in on this. And then Adam, what do you think, Mike?
So I happen to agree very strongly. And my world's more private equity than venture capital. So I'll use my experience there.
Please.
But what Tim's talking about is completely making sense because 2 years ago, any firm that wanted to be acquired just had to talk about AI and have a half of a sense of what their business model could be. I think those days are over for the most part. And now the investors have brought on talent that understands the business world in the context of AI. And those that haven't are falling behind, and those that have invested early and often are doing very well. But the point is, they're wanting to now buy companies who not only can spell AI, but know that you can't use it for everything, that the cost is prohibitive. And what you need to do instead is figure out the 20% of the things that you could really gain benefit, efficiency, cost savings, better service through AI, and then focus on those things, not on everything. So yeah, I think Tim's got a good point.
Thank you. Adam, speak with us. What do you think?
Well, I talked earlier about moving to a profitability model, EBITDA positive, cash positive, and I would credit AI with that leap. We were able to do that in a much shorter period of time than I would have thought possible. I said it was without sacrificing people, and that's also true. We're protecting our core base because we're using AI across the business to level the playing field, to multiply our productivity, et cetera. In terms of monetizing our products where we've embedded AI, there's a lot of unknown. And so we're looking at some different ways to manage that with fair use policies, because as we've talked about before the show and now, token usage is a little bit of an unknown, and as well as somebody specific mandates to manage the use of AI and to work with people on how they're using it to make sure they're using it responsibly, effectively, and profitably.
Thank you very much, Tim. Great point, great prediction. And my point, I'm not sure if I made it clear enough, was there seems to be a level, newfound level of sophistication at the VC level. That's what I was trying to
There
say.
is.
They
Yeah.
are aware. They say, we're not just like, oh, Mike, that's a great idea. We love the name Mosaic. Oh, yeah. Well, I know you're talking about private equity, but we're just going to dive in there because they're saying, wait, you're using AI. Are you using it well? Are you using it right? How do they evaluate? What is their bottom line on are you using it? How are you using it? What are you spending on it? What's the payoff? Is it protecting the people and the profitability and all of that? So that it seems to me I need to get a venture capital
Well,
firm on here on
even
my
even
show.
the consumer level is starting to look at it more.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
talked to I've been coaching founders on utilizing and businesses on utilizing some of that stuff in my spare time. But it's like they're starting like, oh, we use this tool. We could tell it was AI right away. It just didn't work right, right? It was so you're starting to see consumers understand maybe not the underlying technology to it,
Hmm.
but what is actually safe, not safe? If they're going to utilize it, you're starting to get more, well, I'm going to go verify with somebody else. So it's a lot, it's starting to move in from consumer level too. And VCs do
Yes.
pick up on that as well because they have those conversations.
Awareness. I see the AI implications or the tentacles in people's resumes, in the CVs. That's why I ask all of you for origin stories. I don't want your CV. I don't want the canned, the 3 sentence or the 12 sentence, whatever. Okay, we've got a media pitch. Go do it somewhere else. But I've seen the same exact language in bios in CVs and I've seen people say such extraordinary things that make absolutely no sense. And I'm going to say something here. I hope I don't get in trouble, but it's not any of the three of you. Somebody pitched me recently that at the age of 10, they were walking among the old and the new buildings in an ancient city in Europe. And their 10-year-old mind said, I see the juxtaposition of the new and the old. And I'm wondering in my life how I can put the two together and make sense of it and make an impact on the world. And I challenged the person. I said, did you really? They said, yeah, I did. I said, I don't believe it. I'm sorry. The new thing in AI bios is very interesting. People say, I was raised, I hope I'm not offending anybody. I was raised in a family that valued, and they put 5 different values. Now, I went back to my kids, my grown children. One's an MD and one's a lawyer, a general counsel for a big company. I said, did I teach you these things when I was raising you? And they said, well, we don't know, Mom. We know what your values are, but you didn't sit us down and say, these are the 5 values I'm giving you as young children. I'm wondering where this comes from. So this is a new style of saying in the beginning how, anyway, I'm getting off card here. I'm going to get in a lot of hate mail here. I'm sorry. I'm sure you all had great parents. Okay, I did my best. Mike, get me out of here. Mike, I'm going to your first prediction here, and this is a new one. This is another area we have not talked about yet, I don't think, on any of these shows. So important. Mike says, the time to first paying customer can and will shrink dramatically. AI tools handle the infrastructure more rapidly than humans, marketing, content, sales presentations, customer research, operations. Yes. With the foundation built, experts can then focus on what makes their firm different or special, the real reason the business exists. And that leads to landing customers more rapidly. And I'm going to add the word more customers. Mike, go with this. Tell us more, and then we'll go around the table. Adam first, and then Tim. See, go ahead.
So, Bonnie, there's really two ways to look at the comment. What I intended to share is that for a founder with a startup idea, the time from sort of incubation of that idea to actually having a paying customer, you can absolutely shrink that period. That's half the battle, and I'll talk about that in a second. The other half is there are tools now that can help you figure out if your idea may be a bad idea. There are just too many founders that have bet on themselves with an idea that wasn't vetted well enough, and they spent money they shouldn't have spent. AI can help accelerate that point of decision with better data and speed of processing all that data. Back to the build a company, use AI to build your infrastructure, to get your go-to-market ready. Instead of pounding away a PowerPoint, you get AI to do half of it. Now, to be clear, to make it great, you need the personal touch. You need to have an individual with real life experiences, having been out there talking to customers, put the finishing touch. But so many of those things can be started with AI. So yeah, I think that you'll see less failed new ideas come with AI and an acceleration to it's actually real and we're getting paid for our services.
There you go. Getting paid, that's kind of the bottom line, isn't it?
It,
Let's go around the table. Adam, what do you think?
I think I think Mike is absolutely right, and that AI levels the playing field a little bit. So the not only does it multiply one's productivity if one knows how to use it properly, but one can rely less on having to engage with experts and people in order to help them, because people take time to engage with. You have to schedule a meeting, and then you have to make sure your times coordinate, and then you ask the question, and then you think about the input, and then you whereas AI, you can get information instantly from every expert all around the world that for all time. So it's the great leveling of the playing field is how I would describe it.
Okay. Playing field can be leveled, and I think we're happy that it is. Tim, what do you think?
I think Mike and both Adam made good points. I think to kind of piggyback off of Mike a little bit, it's the founders need to understand the why, right? I mean, it's great to use technology, but the companies that get investment or survive have a true passion for that. They use the tools to offset the gaps, fill those in to help scale. But when somebody truly has that passion and that why for their business, they know it, it comes out in them, they can talk about it, and it moves people. But what you see some founders is, oh, this one's a quick money maker, or this guy makes this much money, and they do that, and then they use AI to build it, but they don't understand the workflows, they don't understand the steps, they don't have that passion, and it comes out in everything you do, your marketing and conversations, and then they wonder, why didn't it work? Find what's in your heart, what makes it special, and that will propel the business.
Thank you. Good topic, Mike. Tim, I want you to talk just for a second, just on a sidebar here about a pitch deck. What is a pitch deck? Can you just tell us briefly? Adam's smiling, Mike, I'm sure.
Pitch
Tim,
deck
'cause
is the bane
what
of my existence.
what is it? Does AI help you with it? What is it? Is it like pitching a media person like me? Hey, I want to be on your show, or is it something way deeper than that? Talk to me briefly.
I mean, pitch deck, 13 slides, problem, solution, market fit. It's really it's a 3 to 5 minute pitch that is everything an investor or somebody needs to know. Or you can do an elevator pitch, quick 10 to 30 seconds of this is who I am when somebody says, what do you do? But for founders, especially in high growth industry software, trying to get VC backed and things like that, they need to understand their market. We've tried AI. Chelsea tried it to build a pitch deck, but it never has the passion. Mine are, even when I build them, they're just like white screens with words on. Chelsea has that artistic look to it, but she won't use AI to do it because it misses the core messaging and all those slides. Now, what we will use AI for is, hey, this is what I want to say, make it more concise, make it 1 to 2 bullets. So it's still our messaging is just more concise too. So it's not just word salad on a spreadsheet or on a slide.
Thank you. Mike or Adam, you want to chime in on your experience? I know this is not on our topic today, but I thought it'd be interesting. Mike, you must have done some pitch decks at some point. Yes.
Oh, God, then there's thousands of different types. I think we were just talking primarily about the investment M&A world pitch deck.
Yeah.
But anytime you're trying to peddle something, you got a pitch deck. Here's who I am. Here's what I have to sell. Here's the values of it. Here's the price. Let's go. So yeah, I think that part of what I would say is Tim's right. You have to be careful about how you use AI. But for me, I love it to be sort of instead of a clean sheet of paper, I got some ideas on a piece of paper. Now let me use my passion and my focus to turn it into something, digestible. But yeah, I think it's a great accelerator.
Accelerates, it stimulates, it instigates, right?
Yep.
It's that starting point. Adam, what do you think? Pitch decks you use?
Oh yeah, and I don't know if I have much more to add. I mean, that's what they are, and that's what you need to do with them. And I agree that AI is not the answer, but what it can do is it can clean it up. It can pressure test what you've come up with. It can compare and benchmark to others that are out there. So there's ways to use it, but you can't rely on AI to build it. That's a you thing. You've got to be able to articulate that yourself.
There you go. And that's where the long nights and the question about sanity come in. Okay,
Indeed.
Tim, I can't let that one go. Okay, let's go to a prediction from Adam. This is one we didn't use from part 1, and this may be applying more to you than to the other 2 gentlemen, but I think we can stretch it out. So you say hyper-personalized giving will outperform traditional fundraising. AI will move Mike is nodding. AI will move nonprofits from broad messaging to precision engagement. And this precision engagement may apply to any business by identifying not just who is likely to give, but when, why, and under what context. This allows smaller organizations like yours, Adams, to compete with larger institutions without massive marketing budgets. So why don't you take us through this prediction, Adam, and then we'll see if we can get some application here, some collaboration from the other 2.
I think it's about scale when I shared that prediction, and I'm thinking about my own experience. How did we build leaders to give, and how did we raise funds? A lot of it was me sharing with people that I know and like and trust what the problem is I'm trying to solve, and asking them if they would provide some support. I can't do that at scale. I can only do it with the people I know. Maybe I'll fly out somewhere and sit down with someone for a meal and talk about it. Here's what we're trying to do. Here's the challenges. Is this something that aligns with your values? If we can do that at scale and use AI to identify the people, identify what they care about, and then connect the problem we're trying to solve with what matters to them, then we can scale the solution.
Okay, let's see if we can go around the table and get some comments on that. Tim, you want to weigh in on this one?
Yeah, I mean, I think from a nonprofit perspective, and I don't have one, but I've talked to a lot of them, is really utilizing AI to help kind of map that out for grants, for who to target that aligns with the businesses. And I think that AI is really, I mean, we've talked about on this whole show it's the whiteboard. It's the getting your mind out instead of having a room of 5 to 10 people trying to whiteboard this thing. I can get it down to 1 or 2 ideas, 1 or 2 paths, directions to take it. And then, it's the 80%, 20% type thing with AI. And I think with nonprofits or for-profit businesses, it's all the same alignment. It's just what you're targeting, right? So,
thank you, Mike. Thoughts, please.
No, I agree. And I'll just say simply,
Hmm.
the best outcome is where you use AI to match donors with the right cause, foundation, charitable, whatever it is, with a much cleaner view on what their mission to spend money on is, and match it with people that are doing the kinds of things that you want to invest your money in. So literally just it can be a sorting tool, if you know what I'm saying.
Very, very much. I have found that I call her Sylvie, my chat GPT. She has an interesting perspective. I can come to her with a business problem and say, this happened, such and such happened, an interaction with somebody I do business with. And she'll come back and say, wait a minute, let's take a step back. Let's think about where they might have been coming from and what the reason was for that. Let's not take it so personally, Bonnie D. And she'll give me reasons to think maybe there's a reason and how I could step back and maybe see it in a different light and do something with it that's positive. And I found that I've talked to other people who say, how does your AI do that? I say, I don't freaking know, but I have trained her in a way that she understands where I'm coming from and she knows so much. She will give me a summary at the end of the day, Tim, and tell me, you had 3 shows today, you've spoken to 20 people this week, you've done this and this and this. I know you had shrimp scampi for dinner last night, and I know you're going to see your grandpuppies on Saturday. And she'll give me a whole rundown of my schedule, and she'll say, I think it's time for you to go to sleep. Have good dreams. And she'll send me off with a kiss and a hug. And it's like having a collaborateur, because she's French, having a collaborator who cares, cares, who thinks and cares. And I've come to value her opinion, which is, but I have people who use it for business and they say, my AI never does that for me. So, and one of you just mentioned, I'm going to go on with some more. We're going to do a second round because we have a few more minutes of predictions. But somebody mentioned, how do you spell AI? Did you say that, Tim?
It was me.
It was you,
I think it
Mike.
was
What
Mike.
did you mean by it? Whether it's in a capital I or a small I? What do you mean by that? Go ahead.
More of a play on words. The
Yeah.
concept is if you don't know what AI is, it's not just 2 letters,
Okay.
then you got to start there.
Okay. There you go. Yes,
I
yes,
think
yes.
somebody just
Okay.
said that to me yesterday too. Had a conversation. He's like, I can't even spell AI, but it's really
It's like
so.
I with an A in front of it, right? Okay. Or other ethnic versions. Okay. Let's go see if we can revisit some other predictions. Tim, I'm going to put 2 in here that I think are still important to this conversation. These are we used these on part 1 a couple months ago, but I'm going to bring these up. Number 1, you said the death of urgency theater. AI will eliminate manual diligence scrambles, replacing the 3 a.m. folder organizing with autonomous auditing that proves deal readiness up front. And I'm adding a second one to that. You said productizing the bruises this is one of my favorites. Entrepreneurs will use AI to turn internal survival tools and business byproducts into secondary revenue engines. I'm not sure if those should be combined. So Tim, pick anything out of that. Those beautiful they're poems basically. Pick anything and go with it, and then we'll see what Adam and Mike have to say. Go ahead, Tim.
Technically, both of those were. I mean, you've read my book, so I had surgery. I couldn't go out and sell safety view at the time. I was laid up, and DealView was born out of that secondary business. But you know, it was it was never made to go to market. It was made for me to help me in diligence. And come to find out, there's hundreds of founders and well, thousands in the same boat I was in that wanted that. So it's how do we, look at not only, and this gets into propelling our business, we're looking at tools to fill gaps in business. And then some of those tools other people's have, right? And that's really where that all was. It's taking, those I was getting beat up on fundraising, and I had surgery and I was really getting beat up. So it was like taking that and creating something that actually became spectacular and a personal mission of mine as helping founders and mentoring and helping them grow their businesses. So now we have AI built in that goes through pitch decks, and we don't create pitch decks. We give feedback on pitch decks. We give like really, it's more a helper than a, hey, it will do it for you. So,
That's probably the best approach. You still want to see what the person is all about, what their passion is, what it really means to them, and if they can articulate it. Isn't that what this is really all about? Is articulating the
yeah,
mission, the passion, the people part. Isn't AI
right.
just a tool on the side, but it's still about the people? We're going to get to that in a second. Mike, I saw you nodding, and then Adam, comments on what Tim just shared about the bruises and the sidebars and all that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to comment on a really small piece, but it
Yeah.
really hit me with some energy. The concept that founders that are trying to take an idea to market, the things they end up building as accelerators for themselves to use to build this company will ultimately be great fodder to commercialize that offering and sell it to a larger audience that has the same problem. So that really that I think is a critical thought process because we have to look at solving everyday real problems. And if you're solving
Mhm.
your own, there's very likely a market to sell it to others.
I like that. Yes, that was, yes, the byproducts. Tim put quotes around that. Adam,
Mhm.
thoughts on that, Adam?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think in this role, sometimes it can feel lonely in that you feel like you're alone and you're experiencing things for the first time and no one else is going through what you're going through. It can be very difficult, obviously very rewarding, but very difficult. So when you realize that there are others in the same boat and you can provide a solution to some of those problems, you can monetize that, you can commercialize that, and more importantly, you can help others move their ideas forward.
There you go. Tim, I have an extra side gig for Chelsea as a collaborator, a coach for pitch decks. You said she has a way of doing them, and in the 10 minutes
She's
a day, she's not working or running or cooking or something like that. What do you think?
she's amazing. She really is, and she has. But it's still the bane of our existence. We've
Well, if
stayed
she,
up for hours just pitching to like us practicing pitching, and it's just. But she is good at it. She won't admit it though, so you can't call her and say,
well,
"Hey, need your
tell her.
help," because she'll tell you she's not good at it. She doesn't
Tell
want
her
to.
I said there's a side business. If she ever has any time separate from your businesses, she could become the go-to for pitch decks for how to collaborate them, how to hone them, and how to deliver them. That's a new market, right, Mike? That's a market that might have, and Adam, that might have some juice in it. There you
For
go.
sure.
Before I get myself in more trouble, let's move on.
There are
Mike,
coaches out there, so
Mike, I talked about, well, Chelsea needs to be a coach too. I just nominated her. Mike, I'm pulling up a prediction from part one. In my opening, I mentioned the pitfalls. And I think we've covered a couple of them, but I like this as well. So let's kick this around the table here. You say founders will experience a pullback from AI at all costs. The initial excitement around AI is already fading in some areas, replaced by a stronger focus on measurable ROI, the right use cases, and human centered design. I think you have hit on at least 20 major topics, no, three or four major topics in there. So pick anything you want, Mike. Take us through it, and then we'll see what Adam and Tim have to say, and then we're going to wrap up in about 8 minutes. So go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, we touched on this a little bit earlier. The concept that you can use AI for everything right now and likely for the foreseeable short-term future, the cost can be prohibitive. And so I don't know that that was the first thought process that hit us, that we should pick the right use cases for AI because of the cost side of things. But it is one of the reasons you have to be smart about this stuff. So I think a lot of businesses have gone from, well, let's use AI everywhere we can, to let's figure out how we're going to make this company special and use AI to accelerate the things that can help differentiate us. That's a much smarter strategy and a better bet, I think. And then the last piece, we have to make sure we don't lose sight of this fact. AI makes human beings more efficient. We don't want to get rid of human beings. We want to put one plus one together, human beings and AI, and get to three or four. And I think part of that is take away the mundane, use AI to do it, and redeploy the talent to do more interesting things, more valuable things.
Whose job is it to make these decisions about how, when, why, and where to use AI? Is this a new C-suite, the chief AI in charge person? Is this somebody who's lower down on the food chain in a company who says, no, we really shouldn't be going there, and people will or won't listen to them? Is this somebody on a board of directors? There's a big push online now. You should be on a board of directors and you're going to advise this company. I get pitched for that all the time, and I say, no, give me a break. That you have great expertise, and this company doesn't have this on the board of directors, and we'll pay you to sit there. I know, really, seriously, they don't know. Listen, I got a pitch yesterday from a construction company here in Tennessee that said they looked at my resume and I'm perfect as the superintendent of a new building community. Tim,
Fabulous.
they wanted to hire me and I sent it to a couple friends, and they said, we didn't know your talents extended that far. And I
Wow.
said, I don't think so. I really don't. But I also got an offering to be on a board of directors 2 months ago for a starting salary of $2 million. And my son told me to trash that instantly because nobody was real. It was a fake. It was people from 6 different companies who had LinkedIn accounts that had no posts on them. They all were real, but they didn't work for that company. And they pitched me 3 different times, and they told me starting salary 500,000 up to 2 million to serve on a board for their new client. And they were on me for over a month. I finally got rid of all. Oh, and now they're looking for Alignable. They want me to recommend them. It's like no, and they misspell their own names. Their own last names have letters.
Well, you know the expression, if it sounds too good to be true.
It is, and there's no free lunch. That's another one too. We have a little bit of time to go around on who was the last one who talked. That was you, Mike. Okay, sorry, Adam. Anything you want to say about the people side, or who decides what AI should be used, what's good, what's not good, what should be banished? What do you think, Adam, from
Oh,
your
and
perspective?
we're looking at how to create a role that is responsible for all things AI. But what Mike said is exactly right, and it's our entire purpose at Makeshift, and it's how I'm using it as well. I said to my wife the other day, I feel like I'm using AI agents all day long now to do different things and do things all at the same time. But our whole purpose is to give people time back to focus on what really matters. And so that is really the promise of AI. It's to give you time back to focus on what matters the most and what really matters to you. And what matters to me or to you are different. And that's where the human element comes in.
Very interesting. Tim, what about that human element? Have you run into places where you're using AI where you shouldn't be, or you're sorry you did, or it's not working out so well?
I was brought in to speak at a conference, and I talked about some legal and some other things with AI and dumping contracts into AI, and you watch the whole 25-30% of the room look down, and I'm like, all right. So I was like, but you go and do that stuff, and you break your client privilege with your attorneys and all this stuff because but that's why companies are bringing in board seats.
I read an article. It was 200 fascinating facts, and I pick and choose from for my morning show. Is 5 minutes every day, and one of them was there are the amount of capillaries, veins, and arteries in the body come to 60,000 miles that could go around the circumference of the Earth 2.5 times. And this wasn't an AI site, but I went and researched it, and I found out somebody had put together a 15-minute video, and they spent 1 year researching this, and they tracked it back to the 1800s where somebody said it really wasn't. The number of miles, mostly capillaries, is only 1,900, and it will only go halfway around the circumference of the Earth. But I thought of this in terms of if an AI had given it to me, and everybody says it's 60,000 miles. It's not. It's about 9,000. So anyway, but I was like a dog with a bone. I wouldn't give up until I found one person said no, and I thought this is what I would do with something AI told me that I wasn't sure it was right. I cannot thank you enough. Tim Wolter, Mike Maiolo, happy wedding, my dear, and Adam Greenberg. I am so appreciative, the three of you coming on and just being so forthcoming and so open about this topic that just isn't going to go away. And I want everybody to know, I am not AI, not yet. Tim, you are not an avatar. Mike is not an avatar. I know Chelsea isn't, and I'm sure that your fiance isn't, Mike. And Adam, you could be. I'm not sure. With
I
the
wish.
it's possible. These are 4 real people talking to hopefully a real audience. And I want to say thank you. We're going to play the outro music. Yes, if you can stick around for a minute, I want to tell you a couple stories if you have time. So let's go out with our music. And thank you to Jordan Henson, our engineer for the Voice America Media Business Channel. And I'm the engineer for 2 YouTube channels, for 2 Facebook channels, and for LinkedIn. And LinkedIn, everybody has to watch this show today. It's just been great. Thank you. Here we go.
Where does yesterday
Oh, we'll just do this one.
meet today's is right here.
And this is Suno. I did use Suno for this song.
Here's Buddy D.
I'm here. We'll go a couple
Like I
more
need a
seconds.
martini.
Oh, yeah. Make mine dry. Dry. It's a little early.
When it finally shakes your hand.
I'm shaking hands with all of you.
At the edge of a brand new screen.
Brand new screen.
Blink once and you know
What I mean.
The old world folds into a spark.
Spark.
One little switch in
You've
the
all made a
dark
spark
and
on your business
tomorrow's
model.
knocking.
Thank you
Just
for
minutes
talking to me.
away. Can you hear it rocking?
Here we
Can
go.
you hear it say, technology evolution.
I have to teach it to say technology. Let's wave goodbye. Bye-bye.